ready to ignite. Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright. Caffeine runs fueling his creativity inside. Got a YouTube channel where he's shining so bright. MTG 3, the show that takes flight. He's a lyrical beast, spitting fire with every bite. Black metal flow, pounding beats to insight. No one can stop him, he's on a meteoric height. Super fast tortoise, the champion of the fight. Mix it up. Good morning, welcome to the coffee show. With the flow in the shell. Hit that bell, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Sunrise, wake up, feel the noise. Sip that joy, espresso, enjoy. Feel the buzz with the boys in the zone, we rejoice. Good morning, caffeine rising, everybody smiling. You know it's the life, we're waking up so rightful. With the cup so mighty, daily and nightly. Mix it up, stirring.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hello, everybody!
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For a chat and chill day. Woo, woo, woo.
Chat and chill.
Now maybe that means we'll kick Cougar Dude's butt today, you know? Beat him down, get him in a corner, make him feel insuperior. No I'm kidding.
Game shaker.
Game shaker.
Do I hear Commander game again?
Commander game. Not on a Sunday. Wife is off. Wife is off. Oh,
so he's gonna hang out with his missus. Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
It's Sunday. That means they take an extra long, afternoon nap.
Afternoon nap. You're not that old. That's things I do.
Well, I'm already into liking the afternoon naps.
Right. I'm following your footsteps, Dad.
I'm the second oldest here. I ain't into naps yet.
Yeah.
You're not into naps. You're not into naps. What's wrong with you, Billy? Naps are awesome. Even ask Cane Shaker. Naps are
There was a study I saw on the news that it's probably best to take 30-minute naps. This is about most you should take during a nap.
That's about as long as my naps I normally take.
Yeah.
30 minutes, 20 minutes. My nap there. Cane Shaker says he's a professional napper. That's right. He's got down to a skill honed. You know,
right. He gets paid a nickel a minute.
Right. A nickel a minute. Probably sponsored by the best sponsors for naps, probably by like Serta or the Purple Bed. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Probably
the shadow knows.
Probably got him sponsored by those nap studies.
Right.
Only one man. It's like only one man in the world can nap as long as he does, as many times as he does. Cane Shaker napping for the world doesn't have to.
Lazy boy. Savannah Lines, hello. Thank you for stopping by this late evening for you. So where he lives, it's like 2 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Morning, boys.
Savannah.
Hey, Savannah.
But yeah, it's a Sunday morning, everybody. We made it one more week. Some people actually go back to work tomorrow. I don't know who any of those people are, but it's not me.
Not me either.
Poor Backwoods.
Not me.
Poor Backwoods. I think he's the only one that does.
Yeah. That is a 4-letter word for me.
You're retired now, Kuja dude.
I know. That's great. You can do what you want to do. Well, I have stuff I have to do now, but normally I just do what I want to do when I want to do it.
What you want because of pirate history, you are.
But you get to play Magic now. You get to play Magic with the sun. You get to have fun.
Yes, I do.
You get to listen to your music more than 1 hour a day.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm
You
going
gotta,
to listen to all
you
day.
got a
I
wife
got
that
some.
takes care of you. You know.
Yes, I do. I got a wonderful wife. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's right.
Awesome. Ruiz,
Awesome.
hello. Welcome. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yep.
So, you guys, we're having a good conversation in the background before we started all this jazz. People were getting to know each other, bump elbows, figure out whose team's going to lose for the Super Bowl. You know,
Well,
Super
yes,
Bowl's a
that's
few months
true.
away. Super
That's
Bowl's only a
right.
few months away.
Yeah, next February.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't believe it's already, basically football starting here in 2 months.
right.
And they want to add 2 more teams, and the players
Yeah,
are against it. They want to add
Two
Do you know
more
2 more.
teams.
what city?
I know that they want it. They want one in Canada, and I'm not sure what the other one is.
Oh,
Uh, but the players are against it. That means you have to play 20 games a year.
I'm really hoping Utah steps into the football game. Like they
Yeah,
got one
they
of the
can
best
use a
programs
team.
in the world, or in
So,
this nation,
so could
Yeah.
Oklahoma. I mean, we don't have a team here. We
right?
have
me,
college. We got college teams, but
Mm,
Yeah.
if they
Well,
do make two more teams, they got to think two more teams. That's the two more money for me.
mhm.
yeah.
More money,
You can think like, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But see, Utah has a really good program. The U of U, and the BYU, and even like the high school programs are pretty buffer in Utah. So like the college programs they got there are insane. The funding for it's insane. Weber State University has a good team. I mean, it's
Well,
crazy.
BYU is number one in their conference.
You know, so
BYU has got a history of turning out a lot of pro players.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So I can definitely see Utah getting a professional team. Now, will they? I don't know. They don't
No,
believe in
I
working
don't
on
think so.
Sunday.
I don't think so because of the way Utah runs things. I don't think so. I mean,
Well, they could.
they got a pro
Lots-
basketball team and they got a pro hockey team, but
they got almost a pro baseball team.
yeah. So I don't see it going to Utah. They want to
Hey,
stay.
hey, 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 hey.
They want to. It won't come to
Keep your
Nevada
hopes
because
up. Keep your hopes
Nevada
up. Don't drown your hopes in sorrow. All right.
Nevada got a team. The Oakland Raiders are now the Nevada Raiders.
Right.
here's a question for y'all. How many teams are there?
There are 18.
18 teams.
Yes.
What if
In the NFL?
In the NFL? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because I think
what are
there's
y'all talking about?
32 football teams in the NFL.
32.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, that sounds more correct.
Yeah, that
32?
sounds more correct.
All right. What
Oh,
if
they had 18 games. That's what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
what if all 50 states had a football team in the NFL?
Oh yeah, that could be fun. Hawaii get a football team. I
Have
don't
to
know if
have
they have the
that.
space for it, but they could do it.
There wouldn't be
Yeah.
enough time to play all the games.
That's not true. That's not true.
They got
They could
half,
change. They could change the roster to where the games are more succinct.
well, they'd have to play like four or five games a week.
They could
Instead of
extend the
2.
season too. They could extend
Well,
the season.
they already have. Because
But
when
look,
NFL started, they had 14 teams.
right, but they could extend the season like they're doing with Foundations, where standard rotates every 3 years, but Foundations is every 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. That's a good question, though. I mean,
I mean, they'd had to start earlier.
but some states don't have the population to support the team because they need a city with at least 1 to 2 million people.
Look,
You
I'm
know?
telling you now, we're gonna have the Provo Mormon Missionaries Football League.
Well,
It's gonna
and
be
a lot
NFL.
of times it's not even the particular cities and stuff that determine whether or not another team is created and stuff, because a lot of times it's the players association and like their union that fights it, because they know that it's going to force players to play more games, and the players don't
Right.
want to do that because it's not going to help their body any and stuff, and
Right.
they're really against any type of schedule expansion or team expansion.
Right.
You're exactly right. Backwards. That's exactly right. It's the union and the players that don't want to play, all year long because they can't take it. Preacher. Wouldn't have enough talent for 50 teams. That's about right.
There's tons of colleges you can look at. I mean, just pick more college people up.
I mean, they have a college in every state,
Yeah, and a football team for that.
Right,
Like-
but
like-
I think Utah needs a team. Utah definitely needs a team. They need their own people. They need to get fresh talent from other universities. Yeah, and Utah is secretly a rich state. Like, they're not the richest state in the union, but when I know it's going to sound weird, but when liposuction was new, Utah was on top of it. When plastic surgery was new, Utah was on top of it. Game design, there was a lot in Utah. There's a lot of money flowing to Utah.
I can see if Utah was to have a football team, I could see them being a lot like the Green Bay Packers, and because the Packers like to draft a lot of Wisconsin players.
Right.
And I just think Utah would have that same feeling where they would want to keep their players that are in state and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but the Packers are owned by the people.
That's the one big difference with the Packer organization versus any of the other ones, is they don't have truly an owner. It's a shared ownership through the Fujidu said it's their shares.
Right. And I definitely think Utah can handle it. Like, I wouldn't surprise me, because Utah doesn't announce their technologies or their business success as much as they should, because I didn't know for years that Utah had a lot of game development, like video game development places. I did not know for years they were number one for a while in plastic surgeries. I know it sounds stupid to bring those up, but those are expensive things. There's a lot of pull into Utah that a lot of people don't think about.
Well, no one's saying Utah doesn't have a good university. And
no, not a university. I'm talking about money flow.
Yeah.
Well, Kentucky has its own NASCAR track.
That's right. And Kentucky has its own major horse track in the United States.
Yep.
Have fun, Savannah Lions. You rock.
Yeah, Kentucky has an excellent NASCAR track.
Yep.
Yeah.
What track is that, Hillbilly? Do you know the name of that one?
I can't think of the name of it, but it's up towards the northern parts of Kentucky, between Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio.
If I remember right, it's one of the bigger races during the NASCAR season.
Oh, yeah.
It
is.
I used to watch NASCAR until I got rid of cable. Now
the Speedway, Kentucky Speedway in Sparta, Kentucky.
It might be Sparta.
That's what's Googling up, is the Kentucky Speedway.
Oh yeah, so it's probably the Kentucky Speedway. But when NASCAR goes there, I think they name the race a certain thing or something.
Yeah, well, there's two. I found two of them. Found one in Sparta and one in Whitesville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
So there's two speedways.
Oh yeah, for sure,
But Kentucky's known for its bluegrass, that you can stand on a hill and look in the future into the far distance, and all you see.
Lord, Daddy-os.
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright.
It was really hard to shoehorn that in, by the way.
I was just gonna say, and Kentucky's got the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
They sure do, which attracts all the billionaires and millionaires. That's right.
Right.
We got our
horse racing.
Horse racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
I'm asking, isn't that where the Derby is? Derby is?
Yeah, that's in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Yeah, it's in Louisville, Kentucky.
Is
That's
it
got to bring in a
Louisville
lot
or
of revenue to
Louisville?
that city.
Well,
Louisville.
there's different ways of pronouncing it. If you're from Kentucky, like me, it's Louisville. But if you are outside of Kentucky, where y'all are, it's pronounced as Louisville.
Yeah, that's how I know.
You know why
Louisville.
it's called Louisville in Kentucky is because they can't pronounce all the letters.
Well,
Ouch.
it's all got to do with the slang and
Right.
Ouch.
where you're from. 'Cause, just like
Wow.
like y'all from different places. Y'all got y'all's own slang. Y'all got
Right.
y'all's own way to pronounce stuff. And Kentuckians got their own ways of pronouncing stuff.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
when
in
I say
Utah.
Louisville, I pronounce the S.
Right. It's like in Utah.
I don't.
They can't say mountain right. They skip the T and like somehow put an apostrophe in there. They're like, there's a mountain, not a mountain, a mountain.
I've heard that,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't pronounce the S in Louisville. It's just called Louisville.
Right. Even my
Don't
wife
hear-
calls it Louisville because that's how
Yeah.
truckers call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's truckers call it that, and also Kentuckians call it that. Truckers probably got that from us Kentuckians.
Right.
Kentuckians. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of Kentuckians calls it Louisville.
Well, if you want to know an English country that Australia, they get the words and they try and make them as simple as possible by making slang. So half the Australian language is slang. You know, I don't know all of it. I used to know a lot of it, but they
Hey,
like to
mate.
shorten the words. Yeah, instead of hey mate, they go good day. They so anyway, that's just a fact. Not to
Yep.
take away from what we're talking about.
We're talking about everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are.
everything and nothing. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what chill and chit chat day is for, though.
Right. No, so like
Shouldn't,
there's a lot of things that go into a name, and there's a lot of weird things. Like there's a whole video on the names of towns in Utah. Like towns in Utah are not original to you. Well, they're original to Utah, but like a lot of the town names, like there's a song from back in the early 2000s that someone did a cover of "Poison" by Alice Cooper, and it's all about the songs. No, it's not a cover of Alice Cooper. It's a cover of I can't remember the name of the band or the song. It's Bermuda, Bahama, baby. I just
The Beach
wanna...
Boys.
Beach Boys.
Beach Boys, but the name of the song. But anyways, the whole thing's going through the weird names of Utah. Yeah, like Manaway is a town in Utah, and if you look at the spelling of it, it's like Mantua. There's Tooele, which is a town in Utah, but
Yeah.
it's spelled like Thule. So like a lot of states and stuff have like weird ways of saying things or naming things.
Well, that's like us up here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. There are a ton of small towns that are like named after Native American names and stuff like that,
Right.
where they kept those names.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah. Like in Nevada, California. I don't know about California. They got a lot of towns named after Spanish things.
Right.
And Nevada has a lot of towns named after the war names. At the heroes of the war. So yeah, every city has a thing. I mean, I lived in Utah for 5 years or 4 years. I can't remember. It was a weird state to live in. But it was a nice state. That's right. A lot of names cities were
Locally
yes.
here for Lake Superior, we still have people that call Lake Superior Gitchigumi.
Mm-hmm.
Get you goomy.
Mm.
Huh, never heard that.
But you
Wow.
know, Utah has the deadest lake in the United States.
Yeah, the Great Salt Lake.
Great Salt Lake. The only thing that
You
lives
know-
in that, the only thing that lives in that lake is brine shrimp.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you know there's an aircraft that crashed in Salt Lake in the 70s or 60s?
What's up, Salmonella?
Salamilla, what's up?
Mhm.
And it's
Hey.
still in the lake. They didn't take it out.
They've taken it out. The lake's not even that deep to bury the whole thing, so
No,
they've
I
taken
thought they
it out.
just left it, but it has a lot of mush on the bottom of it. You know,
Yeah, the deepest part of the lake's like not even 12 feet.
wow, that's like our. We have a lake up here in California that's it's like Lake Salt Lake, but it's not salt. It's a brashish, and it's huge, but it's only 3 feet deep. I can't remember, but it's up. It's north of me.
All right, I'm wrong. The deepest part of the Salt Lake is 33 feet,
Wow.
so it's not deep at all.
But they do a lot of brine shrimping on the east side.
Oh yeah, like a lot, like was it like 12 to 15% of America's salt comes from the Great Salt Lake,
Yeah,
and a lot of your fish food comes from Salt Lake.
yeah. The brine shrimp. That
Yeah, there's
feed you
not a lot you
fish.
can really do with brine fish.
No, I know. I used to buy it when I had my Oscars. I would buy brine shrimp and drop it in and just suck it in.
I just looked up the deepest spot in Lake Superior, and it's 1,300 feet deep.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm not swimming in that.
Yeah.
If
Lake Tahoe, the deepest part is 8,500 feet deep.
I ain't really got no big lake around. Well, there is one big lake, but it goes through Tennessee into Kentucky, land between the lakes. But other than that, there ain't no lakes in Kentucky.
right,
However, we do have caves all over Kentucky.
right. The only thing the Great Salt Lake has going for it, really, like people are proud of, it's saltier than the ocean. It's the saltiest lake in America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
Yay!
Been there, done that.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard it's been the saltiest place in the United States. That's where you can go get yourself for your burgers and fries.
Right, the saltiest. No, like the funnest thing about the Great Salt Lake is you can float on your back easier in that lake because the salt content's so dense.
Yeah.
I
But-
heard that. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was true, but I heard it.
Oh yeah, people get petrified wood from the Great Salt Lake and sell it for good money too.
Yeah.
Like
According
my
to this, our largest lake in Oklahoma is Lake Texoma.
So my grandpa Emil, who's a family friend,
Yeah.
he was hired on by a company to tear down the train tracks that went across the Great Salt Lake.
Oh.
And he'd take the wood, the petrified wood that was in the water, cut it out because not all the wood was petrified. All the parts of the wood that came out of the water,
Yeah.
he cut out the wood, the parts of the wood, and sell the wood to crafters and people who loved using petrified wood. But poor guy died doing his last day of his job.
Oh,
I laughed
God.
now 'cause it's ridiculous. You know, it was a sad, tragic day.
I bet.
Yeah, that
Wow.
sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, Chicker. So you're saying you're pretty salty in Utah? Not as salty as you when you lose. What? Kidding.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
yeah, the point there. Okay.
Wow,
man.
Talking about losing, that Commander game we had last night was
All right.
crazy.
Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. We're getting there. But first of all, Hillbilly, what's the first segment of the day?
Well, that would be the
Card of the day. Combo breaker.
The new
Ooh.
turtle in the new set. Pecan Green
Wow.
Shell. Hillbilly, why don't you read this card off?
sure. It's called super fast tortoise and a green shell. Frequent green shell, 3 and 2 green, 4/6. So 4/6 for 5. Elemental turtle with reach. Ooh, a turtle with reach. Wow, must have a long gold neck. As long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a lot of lands, though.
So that even includes itself.
Yep.
Whenever Fruitfund Green Shell or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tap. Otherwise, put it into your hand. That is busted.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
So you get 10 lands. This turns into a 6,
8.
Oh yeah,
6/8.
Wow.
that's pretty good. Yeah, I need this card. I need the one from Murder's Zakharov Manor to go in my turtle deck. Trying to get the best turtles, and they're starting to make fancy turtles. But I was hoping for more of a turtle tribe in Bloomborough. But I'll take this turtle. It works in landfall decks. That's a secret landfall attack.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a pretty strong.
Yeah.
Strong. So you'd need like 15 lands to play this because to get
No.
to get the bonus, you
You only need
10.
5 lands. Yeah, you only need 5 lands to cast it. And to get its
Right.
effect, you just need 5 more.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a build
okay.
around. Like you can ramp up to your lands. You can get some cool stuff going on to get those
Right.
lands out. Is it a good 5 drop?
Yeah, sure is.
Wow.
All right.
There's
You
turn.
can easily build in the deck, those creatures that give you that power toughness difference.
Oh yeah, and it cares about lands, right? 10 lands, so
Yeah.
you can fit in the deck, not worry about being a mono green deck. Doesn't care about basic forests or nothing. As long as you have 10 lands, which is not hard to do in Commander.
I
It's
know.
pretty
I
solid.
had
That's
10
pretty
lands
solid
last
for
game.
Commander.
Now, there's cards out there that let you play 2 lands per turn instead of just 1.
Kind of sucks this turtle's not legendary, but I wonder if this will see standard play.
You got it.
Mhm.
I was just thinking this could have easily been a mythic card.
Right? I thought it was mythic when I was thinking about it, but it's not. It's
I
not.
am definitely going to try this on Wednesday.
Right?
So what's it called? Fee cunt? What's the name?
I don't know. Fecund Green Shell is the best way I can say it.
Fecund Green Shell.
Like my brain wants to automatically say Finkel Green Shell, but like it's not Finkel matter.
That's a good thing.
All right, let's roll.
I just
pictures
looked
of the
up.
day.
I just looked up what that first word meant,
Yeah.
and it means the definition of it is producing or capable of producing an abundance of offspring or new growth.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Wow.
They should have offspring then.
Pretty deep
Offspring
meaning for the first name.
mechanics
yeah, think it would have offspring mechanic.
with that kind of definition.
All right. So it's probably going to the shore to lay some eggs now. Kidding, I don't
It
know.
looks like a snapping turtle. Mm.
It does. I think it's supposed to be a snapping turtle with that tail and the open wide jaws.
Yeah.
It looks very much like a snapping turtle.
And an extra long neck for that reachability.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although it does shoot. It
Yeah,
does
it's
look like it's shooting sword or something out.
Our seeds. or
Right.
something.
It's an elemental turtle, so it's like plant life growing on it that's spreading the seeds, the offspring, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen a turtle with plants on the back.
I like to take those words in Magic card titles and the names, and then if I don't know it off the top of my head, kind of Google it and see what it actually means. Sometimes it doesn't even show up because I'm sure they're just made up stuff.
Oh, no. No, like I get you. Like I remember when Circo Demir Lobotomist was a huge card. Everybody was wondering why it wasn't called Phlebotomist compared to a lobotomist, or they were trying to figure out what lobotomist meant. And so when we looked it up, lobotomy, it's where they kind of make you brain dead, and phlebotomy is where they draw your blood. And like,
Right.
Now, for this to actually, if it did have offspring, I don't think it'd be too bad.
yeah. Yeah, but this card is pretty good. Like, it's good in a token deck. I think this is where it's going to see play, but it's going to buff up a creatures. In fact, I'm already thinking of a deck build around it just for fun.
I think if they would have put the offspring in addition to the reach,
Yeah,
you probably see it as a mythic.
right. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
However, the offspring would not work with its ability because offspring, you only get a 1/1 creature, and this wants the toughness greater than its power.
Right.
For offspring, would not really help this card, although it would give you an extra ability. You be able to do the ability twice, but just that 1/1 instead of being a 1/2. Now, if it came in as a 1/2, then it'd be different.
I just don't think this card does offspring very well because the kids aren't all right.
Yeah. Well, if you made that a dragon, it would work great in my deck.
Anybody in chat, if you caught the reference, you get points. So let's roll on to some pictures of the day. Found a picture of Cookie Dude before the coffee goes off.
Nice. King Shaker.
Before you had the coffee. Yeah, that was me this morning.
Coffee.
Coffee. Needed. I woke up like that.
Coffee is definitely needed. And picture. I found a picture of Backwoods when he was younger. One does not simply stop drinking coffee.
That's true.
Well, wait to get to the last picture, all right? But the next picture, happiness comes from cats and coffee. That's all about me. Now I know what?
I'm going to disagree there. I think it's dogs and cats. I mean, dogs and
Coffee.
Dogs and coffee.
Where happiness comes
Dogs
from.
and cats living together. Total chaos.
All right, so the next picture, I know the gender is different, but it's a representation of our friend Mugenful when he was a kid.
Yeah. No coffee.
No coffee. Oh my goodness!
Look at those eyes. Look at the background. Realize what's going on. Mugenful says they had no coffee.
Did I do this?
That's right. That's funny.
Can't make coffee now.
Right. Well, you light the house on fire to heat up the coffee.
Okay.
All right, and out there in the real world, don't burn down houses. Don't.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, because we're still trying. Because we're still trying to teach Mugenful not to do that. So.
Yeah. Right. It's like King Shaker said. It's like looks like it's shooting spores out of its enemies. Probably from the card of the day.
Yep.
Pinland is hard as AF. Not all the time. It varies how you build the deck. Then Preacher told me yesterday that he likes Bloomburrow so much he's going to order a whole case for our group to use for draft. Hell yeah, Bloomburrow looks nice. Yeah. Oh, Hillbilly is saying I look nice. Thank you. But then we get to the next segment of the day. The segment of the day is the question of the day. The question is
presented by Discord. We have the question of the day.
Hillbilly's been waiting forever for this question. I've been telling him to hold off on it, but here's a question by AI Mark Zuckerberg.
Question: what make an epic commander game fun?
What make an epic commander game fun?
Yeah.
Well, having equal power level decks and having, a long, friendly, competitive game.
Oh yeah, last night's game was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was board wiping. My board wiped even if I wasn't trying to board wipe. Because remember, Core stole my board wipe and board wiped everybody's board. Not to confuse people with the word board and board wipe all like constantly. This is fun to say.
I go see all you're doing is making me bored.
He was doing that. While he was doing that, I was returning my creatures from my graveyards every dang gone turn. And
No, yeah.
No back like zombies.
not only that, I took half of Tortoise's life.
No,
Oh, boy.
And put it on myself.
I was doing pretty good with that life until you did that.
Yeah, I know.
You guys got rid of my token. That was making me gain double the life, all that life. You didn't have to get rid of the token. Tokens, lives matter.
Token to
Yeah,
the player and nobody else.
Yeah.
I did end up with like 73 life last night, but unfortunately,
Wow.
I still lost. I had
Wow.
lost life and
A
lost.
looping life loss combo was ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
I agree with Hillbilly. Probably a game that like lasts a while, but then does have those momentum swings where, at one point it seems like this person's going to win, at another point it seems like this person's going to win.
Right? I thought Hellbilly would have said everybody gang up on SFT and take him out first.
Yeah, we
See.
tried that the other time. Last Friday we tried to gang up on Super Fast, but he still won.
yeah. But that last night game. I felt like it was epic.
Yeah, last night's game was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours, but it was a fun 2.5 hours. And it was, because we had me, Super Fast, Core, and Absolute Dog.
Oh yeah.
The other two that played with us. And anyway, Core got out first. And then Absolute Dog took me and Super Fast towards that at the same time.
Look, all would have been nice and peachy if you didn't get rid of my exquisite blood or the token of exquisite blood. You could have just left it on the battlefield. You could have let me gain all that life.
Well, the only way it could have stayed on the battlefield if it was on my side.
No. That was a pretty intense game. It was fully interactive all the way through and through for those 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
Well, who's looking off over there?
But it was so much interaction that it didn't even feel like it was 2.5 hours.
Oh, it was a good time. We started around 8. It went to 10:30. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I think games like that are fun, and it's been fun having 2 games a week. I wish more people show up during Hillbilly's game time. So we get 3 games a week going on there.
Well, talking about that, thinking about changing my time for my Commander games for Saturday. Instead of 2 o'clock, I'm going to take it back another hour and I'm going to try it for 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Wow.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
I'm going to try to do it at 3 o'clock for on Saturdays. That way it won't interfere with your Commander game at 8 o'clock.
Right. This is going to be harder for me to jump on the 3 o'clock one, so I hope the game fills even without me.
Well, see, that's the issues I'm having with playing Commander on my channel is not enough people around at 2 o'clock.
Which I think it's kind of throughout the whole morning, people are blowing up my phone on Discord looking for games to play.
Yeah. And I also find people looking for games at 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
What about me? I got a game trying to start at 2 o'clock.
It's all about you. It's all about you, hillbilly.
Yeah, all about you.
I know. I find that kind of weird, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a weird time for me. 1 o'clock. That's a weird time.
Yeah. It's a weird time. He's probably eating lunch.
Or maybe I'll just try to keep it at 2 o'clock still and see if anybody
Well,
wants to play.
Something else is make it earlier or later.
Earlier or later.
Well, it depends where you live in the country. If you're in the East Coast, like backwards, it's an hour. You're 3 hours from Pacific time, right? Backwards.
No,
I'm Central.
You're
He's
Central
the same
time.
time zone as Hillbilly Moonful and I.
Oh, okay. So I'm the oddball out, huh?
Yes, you're well, all about in or out. You're just an oddball altogether.
That's true. That's
But
right.
yeah,
The Lost End, what's up?
well, I could make it later. But if I do that, Taurus won't be able to show up.
All right. If you made it earlier, I can have more chance. Like if you tried at 1 o'clock, there's more of a chance. Or 3 o'clock's rough, depending on what the plan is for dinner. Because with it Thursdays, Fridays, Thursdays and Fridays are the wife's early day to work, and she wakes up around 4 o'clock ish. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but 4 o'clock's her time to wake up. Then Saturday and Sunday are late days, so she wakes up around 4 o'clock, but her wake up time is supposed to be like 5 o'clock. So, but I have to have dinner made around those times. So I like if a game goes longer than an hour, like from 3 to 4, I'm going to be pressed for time to make dinner on time.
All right, Ella, I cannot do it right after my first stream because I'm here. After my first stream.
He's here. He's here. We are here. We are here. We are here.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
So
He's
that's
everywhere, man.
impossible.
He's everywhere.
That's impossible. However, I could do it at 1 o'clock instead of 3 and see if there's any takers at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I do it earlier because 11 o'clock's not a bad time.
And that'll be right. And that'll be some kind of, we got, a little bit of a break between now and then.
But you still be doing 2 games because you do one at 2 and one at 4.
Right.
So you do one
Or,
to say 1 and then, you do 2 games a day, right?
No. There are 2 games in the day. One's on Hillbilly's channel. One's on my channel.
Oh, okay.
right. On Saturday.
Right. But really quick on that thought.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Moves, the strategies, and the flair. Superfast tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes.
Okay, I'm gonna make a response to Ella's last message there. I don't think it being a predicament about me being here because I enjoy being here.
Yeah, it's fun to be on and talk with people.
Yeah.
Hey, this is different than this. Actually, kind of gives me a break from playing Magic, from playing Arena. Yeah, we may talk about Magic and all that, but that's fine. That's still good. It's still a break from playing Arena. It gives me a break during the day from playing the game.
Yeah, just to be clear, Hillbilly's not under contract. I promise. Hillbilly, to be honest, Hillbilly started just showing up at the front door saying, I want in the show since the beginning. He's been wanting to be here. It's all his choice to be here.
It's all our choices to be here.
And I told Tortoise also that if he didn't let me in, I was going to get cane striker and shake his cane until he let me onto the show.
And that's a threat. That's a threat. You just don't take lightly.
Nope.
But seriously though, it's we do the show because it's fun. We have fun times. We have great guests when they come on when they can. Like Backwoods Collector, he's here on the weekends more times because he's off on the weekends, so he can be here. Kuji comes here because he wants to babysit me.
Right.
Moogleful's here because I'm not popular without him, and Hillbilly's here because he's crazy.
I did think. Okay, yes, Ella just now clarified what he meant.
Oh, okay.
Timing
Yeah,
prediction.
the timing it could be. Well, the timing is actually where it needs to be because of my stream. Because I stream till I started at 9, and here lately I've been eating it at 10. But when I first started doing this with Tortoise, my stream was ending 10 minutes before Tortoise's show started.
That's funny,
Yeah.
cane picker.
But anyway, that's so the timing of the morning coffee, I believe it's perfect.
Well,
And
it's the perfect time for me because it's like in the middle of the day where I'm rather responsibility and making dinner plans and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's a good time for me. 9 o'clock. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, 9 o'clock California time.
Yep. I think, I honestly think that it's perfect time. But I know it could be. It really wouldn't. I don't see how it would interfere with playing Commander over on my channel.
Right.
Because this is in the morning, and in the mornings, I don't really feel like playing Commander. I'd rather play Commander in the late in the afternoon or night. And we got you doing the night thing with Commander,
Right.
so I chose to do mine in the afternoon, but I can bump that up to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, the reason why I do my games later at night is because the wife leaves for work on those nights and gives me time to put together a thumbnail and set things up and round some people up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about all that.
Enough about that.
Let's refresh the page. Let's get back to business. Let's home back to show. Come back to reality, right? Reality is
back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity.
that's right. There's no gravity in reality. No, we're talking about anything. Let's have fun. Right? Right?
Definitely.
It's fun.
Like, here's a question: why is Backwood Collector no vintage guns? They look cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got into them just because I kind of like that era of, and the ones behind me, at least the one, it's a cap and balls, so that's even really before the cowboy era. That's more Civil War time.
Yeah.
That probably costs a lot or something. Don't tell me the price. I'd probably faint if you did.
Well, the funny thing about cap and balls, they're not even classified as a firearm.
Yeah.
You can get a cap and ball delivered through the mail to your house.
Oh wow!
It's not federally. It's not a firearm like a regular gun is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting to know.
My older brother goes hunting with a rifle with black powder and ball. That's all he uses. He has I think he has 2 that he uses. So he doesn't have a rifle. He uses black powder and a ball.
The black powder ones, yeah. No, well, that's a little different than the cap and ball ones, the rifle wise and stuff. But yeah, the true cap and balls are not federally classified as a firearm.
Wow.
Right, because probably back then they were not as, let's say, lethal as a regular gun is today.
Interesting.
I don't think
doesn't mean it won't hurt.
No,
oh yeah, it's still gonna. Yeah, I mean, it won and lost wars back there in the Civil War time.
Right.
They're nasty. I don't know what the ball would do to you if it hit. I know if it just goes in, or because I know a lot of modern ammo, it breaks up in the body.
Right.
Or
the
so I don't know about the.
Yeah, the lead ball is going to react a little bit differently. It still ain't going to be fun, if you
Right.
No,
buy it.
no, I'm not saying that. I don't want to go too far in that because it's not a pleasant subject. You
Yeah.
know,
It still goes through a magic pack quite easily.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. But no, it's just a cool thing. Like, I'm not really into guns anymore like I used to when I was a kid. But
yeah.
like the Desert Eagle is one of my favorite guns back in the day.
Well, you
I think,
remember neighbor Rudy? Yeah,
yeah,
he had hundreds of guns. We always went out shooting. I know I went down. We were neighbors, and he was a license to sell state and cross
right.
lines, and he had a lot of guns.
Yeah, I remember the pawn shop you opened a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I bought my radar detector from
Hmm.
him.
Well, and my whole gun background comes back from when I was a kid too, because I grew up competitive rifle shooting. And then as I got older, I got into long range rifle shooting and stuff. So I was never like in the pistol competitive side of things. It was always rifle for me. But then I just, like I said, I love that era of the old west, and then even earlier into the cap and ball era.
All right. No, that's pretty cool. I'm like it's really cool. Like the history of guns. I've seen history of guns and restoration of guns. Like I think there should be like I don't know how they would do it, but like a competitive gun restoration show where they take old guns that are kind of beaten and stuff, and like have people like restore them at a competitive level. Like how
Well,
fast can you get it done? How pretty can you make it?
Yeah, that would be almost like a gunsmithing show.
Yeah,
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 that would
and
be fun. I mean, if we
yeah,
could get a show about making Lego stuff, why can't we get a gun show about
right.
restoring guns?
Well, because I think part of it's the sensitivity that the
Yeah,
sensitivity bullshit, I should say, like how sensitive.
yeah,
But like if someone restores a gun, they get to fire it off at a barrel or something to see how powerful that gun was back in the day. That's pretty cool. I mean, you've seen Pawn Stars. They buy a gun before they buy it. They test it. They shoot something in the
yeah.
end, in the
yeah.
distance, and boom, it's fun. And it's always fun, especially when you get to hear the history of a gun, where it came from. Maybe it came from a war or an era where packing that kind of thing was like important to your lifestyle.
Yeah, I like watching some of those shows where they think they've got a gun that maybe belonged to Jesse James, or somebody like Billy the Kid's gun or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like or what if they did a competitive gun replica show? Like there's like people are planning to make a gun of this era, and they get to test it out, and they get to learn the history of the gun. That'd be a small mini series, because there's like a ton of guns out there, but there's certain ones that hone in on history, and they can make a historical document kind of show, backing up like the old 6-shooter revolver. Like boom.
Yeah.
Here's this gun. Here's where it's used. Here's how big it was, like say in the cowboy era or whatever. This is what made the difference. Because some guns
That was
in
a
history,
Colt. That was a Colt
right?
45.
Some guns in history changed the whole course of like some big event.
Yeah.
Like
Are you-
Gatling
yeah,
gun, that changed a lot of things. It was the first machine gun.
Right.
Right.
Are you talking about a show kind of like I believe it's called the Forge, where they make swords and then they
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
have
like
a
that show.
contest to see which sword is better?
Right. Something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
I like
Because,
that
like,
show, The Forge.
But it's
Because
a
it's like-
sword that could do guns.
Yeah, because there's non-violent ways to show guns, and
Yeah.
there's way, and like in a show like that, they can teach people how to respect them and be safe with them. That's the
Show
most
how much
important part,
dangerous it can be too.
right?
That's it, Wiz. The Forged
Forged
in
and
Fire.
Fire.
Forged
There's
and
a
Fire.
whole
Yep.
there's a whole channel for Forged and Fire now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that show. I like watching
Yeah,
these smiths get a piece of metal and make a sword or a knife, or just
Right.
out of a blob of metal. I mean, that takes talent.
Oh yeah,
That,
and it's
would be
always
interesting.
it's always good at the end because they're like, "Congratulations, your weapon will kill."
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's Fortune Fire, if it's a different show that has swords, but someone's been going through making like weapons made in video games.
Right. No, so this is not a topic we normally delve into,
No.
but you got to be sensitive
No.
with the topic, real world.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're talking about it, we're talking about it responsibly. We're not talking, we're not saying who's going to take it. We're not getting political with. We're not going on an agenda. We're just talking about how the history of it is. We're talking about what the things you can learn from it. We don't need correction on it.
Right.
No, I think history is a good thing. Guns were invented. I don't know how long ago. The first gun was in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just
Well, I used to do a class, and I would teach, that it doesn't matter to me where you stand on the issue,
Mhm.
but you have to understand that if it wasn't for guns in the first place, you wouldn't have the country you have today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And now you can stand on the issue wherever you want now, but you
Right.
have to look at it back then and be like, we wouldn't be in our situation without them existing.
Right. It's like how air conditioners saved the West. It sounds stupid, but air conditioners saved the West. And there's a whole documentary I watched on it a long time ago. And if it wasn't for air conditioners, the West would have been more deserted than it is now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you need air conditioning out here, but people survive where they survive. I mean, look at the Arabs; they lived in the desert for centuries. They didn't have air conditioning.
Right.
You just climatize to where you're at.
Right. Yeah. And people had fun. When it came out, when air conditioning came out, people had fun, and the air conditioning thing came up because as ridiculous as guns are today, like how they're treated, because I think the biggest problem in today's world is a lack of respect for it, right? But but back in the day, there was a purpose and there was a reason. I mean, hunting was more resourceful and more important to our livelihoods than it is today.
Right. But if you read the Second Amendment, they had the militia because they didn't trust the government, so that's why they put the Second Amendment in. It was not to go out and have a gun to protect us, to have a gun to form a militia in case the government got out of control.
Right.
That's a Second Amendment, but it's kind of morphed into something else over the centuries. So they want to change the Second Amendment, but I don't know if it's ever going to change or not.
Right. Well, the ridiculous part about today is a lot of things that were important to us back in the day with like weaponry, like guns and stuff like that. They're more it's become more recreational today, and that's where and it's more the commonplace thought of things are different. Where one thing was a necessity, now people treat it like a toy. It's weird. Like my brother-in-law is an officer, and he's a big advocate on respect for guns and teaching people how to treat a gun, basically, and that's how he raised his family. Like he raised them to understand guns, respect them, treat them with the responsibility and all that jazz. I can't say it correctly for some reason right now, but basically, not a toy, And but like a lot of people think, oh, I can get a gun, I can protect myself. For what, or I get a gun to do something. But it's more recreational now than it is a necessity back in the day, and that's a big change, and it happens with a lot of things, like.
Well, me myself, I don't own a gun, but I know a lot about them.
Own three rifles, but I inherited those.
Right. Oh, Cane Chicker is asking to change the subject. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think we do also.
no, it's
Uh,
fun.
What's everybody's plan to do the rest of the day after the stream?
What?
What's everybody's plan to do today after we get done here?
Well, today is Sunday, so I plan on doing my normal Sunday stuff like relax, chill, hang out with the wife, take a nap, think about dinner. What we're gonna do for dinner? 'Cause I have no idea for dinner. Because I gotta
Have a
thaw
deal.
something out.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna listen to music for a little bit.
You little rocker.
A little rocker.
You know,
I listen later than-
Dad. You're not gonna be successful if you don't change your attitude and cut that hair.
I know. I
Coogee,
tried to cut it.
dude, I was gonna ask you because you highlighted one album a while back. You got all of Supertramp's albums?
Yes,
You do have them all? That's cool.
I
Breakfast in
have them all.
America.
Yeah. We're Out Thou Brother. I can't name them all. But the only thing is I don't like the very first album. The very first
Oh, you don't like
album
the very
was
first?
awful.
Hmm.
No, it was awful. I mean, like Crime of the Century and God, I can't remember the names, but
I think
Yeah,
Crime of the Century and Breakfast in America are my two favorites.
yeah, Breakfast in America was good. Yeah, they did. The bad thing about Supertramp is that they got so successful, the band they started getting greedy and they broke up, which was sad because the members wanted different directions.
And I always thought it was cool that Supertramp was one of those few bands that truly had two separate lead singers.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird thing, I think the first song I ever heard from them was Bloody Well Right. It was on the radio back in the 70s, which in Europe, that was Bloody Well Right, was a slang word for, in England, it's like the F word here. That's how they mean it. So
Well,
in the United States, yeah. Let me see. I got an album here if I can find
It's
it.
funny because I'll play some of Supertramp's songs for like some of the guys I work for and with, and I'll be like, have you heard this song? And they're, oh yeah, I've heard the song, but they can't name the band.
Yeah,
That's pretty much a lot like me nowadays. I've heard the song, I just remember who it's by.
Yeah, Brother We're Out Thou. That's a great album. It's different than Crime of the Century and
They got a movie.
What?
That's a name of a movie also.
Oh, Brother, We're Out Thou. Yeah, that has George Clooney and a couple other actors.
Yep.
Very good movie.
The album's great.
I am a man of constant
I
sorrow.
still, Coogee, I don't know how you feel about it, but I still don't understand how Supertramp isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Good question. I can't answer that. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has their favorites. There's a lot of bands that that both belong in it, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is run by one guy, and he has a committee of people that pick. I don't know what their criteria is. There's like
Gotta be
like
in score,
maybe.
Coogee do. That's the criteria.
I think Ted Nugent should be in there. I mean, they just put in Van Halen. They just put in Judas Priest, and Judas Priest has been around since the 60s, and they're successful. They put in Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden was successful in the 80s, and, I don't know what their criteria, what they're looking for.
I think it's probably like almost any Hall of Fame, though. It's depending on who's running it and if you're in that little clique or not. And
right, like Linkin Park, I think should get in there because they changed the direction of a entire genre. They made a genre. They made nu metal a popular form before it exploded.
Yeah, exactly. Nirvana's in there. You know,
Nirvana's in there. Yeah,
yeah,
that they changed the world of grunge for sure.
yeah. Let me see uh, one of the artists is in there 3 times. I can't remember because. Oh yeah. God, my memory. I'm getting old and my memory goes. Sorry. Um, I can't remember his name. Hang on.
I'm guessing I know what you're saying though, because he was in a band and then had a solo career and
Yeah, Eric Clapton. No,
it's Clapton?
he
Okay.
he's in there 3 times. He was in the band. He had a solo career and he's in another band.
Mhm.
You know, he's in there 3 times. You know, Jimmy Page is in there twice for playing on Cream and Led Zeppelin. You know,
Right.
so there's a lot of history. I mean, I don't know a lot of history about all music, you know, because I'm only interested in, rock, metal, hard rock,
Right.
but I do have other interests. You know, I have jazz and I have country, but I couldn't tell you a lot. I just know the country artists I like, but I couldn't tell you the history of any country thing.
Well, see,
Real,
and that's like me. I like the old country, so I'm a big Waylon Jennings fan and Merle Haggard
Oh
and stuff
yeah,
like that. But then
yes, exactly.
I do know like Supertramp, and I have some favorites on that side of things.
right.
What about Pink Floyd?
Everybody's gonna have their favorite genre and their favorite time frame. You know, like
What do
even
you
if it's
feel?
before your time, or maybe it was a little after your time. Like some people like the newer stuff, but I don't know who likes the
Well,
newer stuff. I think a lot of
a
it
lot
sounds
of
like
young
crap.
people under 15 are getting on the boat with hard rock and metal from the bands from the 70s. You know,
Well,
that's why
I
they
think
keep going because they have
I
a
think
new
I
audience.
think parts of that are due to merchandise still being sold. Like, back in the day, band shirts used to do like crap,
Yeah,
but like they were hard to get later on. But when places like Target, Hot Topic, and Walmart started selling band shirts, like
right.
bands before the time, people started wearing them. People who probably didn't even listen to the band, they just thought the picture was cool, started getting questioned on it, and started like wearing a Van Halen shirt. No one knows who Van Halen is at a certain generation, but if someone's wearing the shirt, they're like, well, let's look at Van Halen, and they get into it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is good stuff.
And they become a
Van,
fan.
Yeah. I
well, there's
mean,
2 Van Halens. There's one with uh, oh god, Sammy Hagar. You know, that's a different Van Halen than the one with God, I can't remember.
David Lee
You know what I'm
Roth.
talking. Yeah. So they're Van Halen, but they're 2 different Van Halens. You know,
right.
you know,
That's gonna be Linkin
yeah,
Park soon because they're getting a new lead singer.
yeah.
Oh,
Have, like Pink Floyd. You heard of Pink Floyd, everybody, right?
Right. One of the
Okay,
most
so
overrated bands.
they're not. Well, if you listen to the early Pink Floyd from the '60s, they were run by Sid Barrett, and
Right.
he was a psychedelic. His music is really weird. If you listen to a lot of synthetic, and then he left the band, and I can't remember, but the other guy came in and he put out Dark Side of the Moon, and the band became a huge success. It was
Yeah, Dark Side of the
Dark,
Moon was a
Dark.
fun album.
Yeah, it's not my favorite album, but it was on the top 100 for over 20 years.
Mhm.
You know, my favorite album, Pink Floyd, is "Wish You Were Here." It was saying goodbye to Sid Barrett because Sid Barrett left and became a hermit. Then he died a couple years ago. Uh,
Walter, boop,
Walt,
boop.
Walter Rogers, I think, is the guy that leads Pink Floyd now. You know,
Right.
he put out
Like,
The Wall, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, and
mm.
Animals. You know, um, he
Well,
just put out.
Pink Floyd is definitely a very generational band.
Yeah, but it has a lot of
Like
followers.
Pink Floyd's music fits a certain generation and for a certain generation. like The Wall, as great as a song it is, one of my favorites still today, it like really spoke to the generation that was made for. You know, today people like it just because it's classic and it's well known. Where back,
Well,
it really spoke to people's souls back then.
well, The Wall is about a washed-up rock star. You know what he's going through. That's what The Wall is. You know,
But
it could
people
be.
are people are going to take a song and they're going to apply it to their life wherever they can. You know, some people a little too far, a little too emo, and some people just take it for the lyrics. Like, for example, the song "Zombie" by the Cranberries. You know, zombie,
Yeah.
zombie, whatever. That song, like, I never knew the meaning of the lyrics, but from what I caught in the lyrics in general, for me, for the longest time before realizing what the song was all about, was speaking about a broken home, even though it was about a war. But like it was a good time, and I connected with it the way I did, and I had a reason to love it. And that's how a lot of people look at music.
Right.
Some music has more important meaning behind it, like The Wall has a certain genre about it. But people take The Wall and they're like, you know, they talk about a broken education system. Some people live in a broken education system, right? So they take those lyrics and apply it there. You know. Sadly, we live in a country. There's poor schools and rich schools. And people apply that to them. You know, people apply music in different ways, even if it's going from ignorant to respectable to the full truth of the song.
Yeah. You know, some people, some songs just mean something more to, uh, at the time, whatever the life is, the song comes out and it means something to them. Now, what the artist wrote and what they mean might take a different meaning. You know, like the Scorpions, "Still Loving You," that was a big song, in the 80s, and it meant a lot to me at the time.
Right.
So that's when, I was in Europe and my family was in New Mexico.
Right.
So
I think what changed the meanings of songs for some people is when MTV actually came out.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yep.
I remember
MTV was a game changer.
I remember when MTV came out, we had the TV, and then you had to tune into a certain FM station to get this. It was pretty cool because you'd watch MTV, then you can hear the stereo broadcast on FM.
Yep.
Right.
But you also got CMT now.
Right.
I loved CMT. That was my MTV, was CMT.
Country music channel or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I would know. I've never been a huge fan of country. I like some country songs, but I've never been a huge fan of country.
Yeah,
like
I like that.
My country stems to like Garth Brooks, and I only know one song by him.
So newer stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he was a big thing. I'm into Western, which is before country. Western music from the 40s.
Right.
I'm into that. Let me show you this. This is that. Oh, God.
Oh.
Let me get this. So back in the 40s, Hank Williams had a radio show, and I don't know if you see that. This is his whole radio show on CD. And
no kidding. That's cool.
Nice. Looks like one of those old radios.
Yes,
it does.
And
now, before that music starts playing or anything, let's not get copyrighted.
No, I just played a second of it. I knew that. I just played a second of it.
Right. Because Hank Williams had a show. Didn't his son carry the show, or
yeah? No, his son played country music, but he went to like country rock.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, but that's his whole career is on radio, and it's all on CD. So that's pretty cool. And then you have David Allan Coe, who It's really cool.
It's funny because my son's only 18, but a huge David Allan Cole fan.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, he's still. I don't know if he still plays or not. I don't even know if he's alive. But I got his greatest hits. I think I CD. His greatest hits. Pretty good. I mean,
I think
I'm still surprised that some rock stars are still alive. I mean, like Crazy Train dude.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. I'm surprised his butt is still alive.
Yeah, he's barely alive.
Yeah, they're all getting old now.
Yeah, well, Ozzy Osbourne dealing with Alzheimer's.
Right.
Yeah, it's horrible.
He still wants to tour, but he can't tour because he's not well. He's walks around with a cane, but he did a lot of heroin and coke, in the 80s, and that really messed him up. A lot of the guys got into heroin, but a lot of them now are super clean, and they've been clean for 20 years, and
right.
And they're successful. McDuff from Guns N' Roses, he almost killed himself on heroin. Now has his own band. He has a radio show on Sirius XM, and he's doing really well.
That's guys, I gotta head out for now.
Well, it's good. Give me a second. All right, then we go to here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take, so it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right, you know what that means.
That means chill time.
Chill section.
Shill section. It's time to start closing the show anyways, so we're going to start the shill with, because he said something first, we're going to start the show with Megan Full.
Hey, I'm going to try to record a video once I get back or something. So hopefully I can get that out there. But if I'm gone too long, I'll probably just call it a night.
All right. Well, that sounds fun. All right, then we're going to go to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. 513 subs, doing great. Channel's growing just like I want it to, slow and easy. But it's getting big. That's great.
That's awesome.
And also,
congratulations.
This Wednesday, I will be doing early access at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you want to submit a deck to get a shout out for yourself or your channel, make sure you just go to my Discord. Hopefully you're a part of my Discord there, and then craft a deck. I'll run the deck, give you the credit for it, give you a shout out for yourself and your channel if you have a channel. If you don't have a channel, I'll still give you a shout out. But all you gotta do is craft a deck, and I'll run it. I got some decks in mind myself, but I like to see what my viewers have and get them something to put into the early access. That way they can say, hey, that's my deck. And anyway, I will be streaming again this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Another arena stream. I'm going to try to come up with a new deck, but it's kind of hard right now because standard is stale. But I'm going to try my best to. And I will see everybody at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time over on the Hillbilly channel.
On the Hillbilly channel. Hillbilly. Backwoods.
Well, wet weather kind of put the kibosh on some of my outside video ideas for the weekend here, so that'll probably have to wait till later in the week or towards next weekend and stuff. But as far as today, you might see me pop up just in an unscheduled stream doing some Brawl. And then my plan is to do my normal Sunday night live, just kick back and hang out at 9 p.m.
Oh, 9?
That's typically what I've been doing.
Oh, okay.
That's 7 your time, could you, dude?
Yeah, 9 p.m. Central Time, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
7.
This is Good Fast Tortoise. No show later on tonight. Just going to chill out with the wife, have fun today like I'm supposed to. Stay out of trouble, everybody. Want to thank you guys for hanging out, having a good over the lap show.
Oh, one last thing here. The song of the day by Humble Pie called Black Coffee.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the song today. Sorry.
So that's the song of the day. Humble Pie, Black Coffee.
Coffee.
Okay.
I'm laughing at what Kane Shaker said.
I got nothing. You see my Pink Floyd album up there on the wall. That's
You're
the
right.
wall. So anyway.
All right. Sorry. Hold on. So no, I didn't mean to skip you. I didn't mean to skip you. My brain's rushing because we are 1 hour, 20 minutes into the show. We're closing out. Thank you guys for being awesome, being amazing, hanging out with us.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon. I'll try and catch the show.
All right, Lord, what happened there? There you go.
Backwards, I'll try and catch a show. What do you broadcast on? YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. I will see if I'm available to catch a show at that time.
Sounds good.
All righty.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that complete the whole part of me.